I felt very bad yesterday, not yesterday, last week, because we at the end of the show had ended, and I brought up demand media. And we started what was an incredible conversation, but Jeff, I knew you had to go to pizza. So I cut it off.
For the sake of my marriage,
let
it go.
I cut it off, and I got a lot of heated mail from people saying,
really?
Well, they were really fascinated by it, and they said, this great conversation starts, and you stop it. But the real mistake I made was that I started it. So we can continue it now. And in fact, there's a very interesting article in B2Bmemes.com that actually quotes Matt Cutts talking last week on This Week at Google about these content farms, and what they took from the conversation that we had last week is that Google might in fact want to rein this in.
Yeah, Matt was not cleverly, because Matt is very smart, and he was not explicit about that. But what he said was that they're going to try to get more links to original content, original creation, and have signals of quality. So
that's what you want.
All you do is rewrite the 87th page about how to fix your toilet.
Right.
You shouldn't, even if you have great SEO, that's gaming Google. You shouldn't rise up. Bob Vila's magnificent masterpiece about fixing toilets should rise up because it's original and high quality.
And you actually then blogged on Monday about this a little bit.
A little bit. I also, full disclosure here, I think I mentioned on the show or after the show last week that I was asked to join an advisory board of Demand, and I declined.
Right.
Passing up stock that probably will be worth something when they go to the IPO, but other things matter here. And I don't do it as a condemnation of Demand, because my real problem here is that I think that Demand Media had some key insights that matter for everybody, and I point that out, and that's seen as positive. And so I don't want people to think that I'm saying tolerant or positive things out of a financial interest.
Right.
And the key insights from Demand Media are, number one, that they listen to what the audience wants, and that's what they create.
Which is not a bad thing.
No, it was such a ding moment for me. When I consulted for About.com, I saw them do that. They checked their search queries.
Yeah.
And if they had people asking a question for which they didn't have an answer, they wrote the answer.
It's just a formalized way of doing what a lot of media does, which is serve its audience.
Right, but we didn't do that. In old media, we just said, I can decide what you want and what you need.
It's one of the reasons I like talk radio and I like doing a call-in radio show, because you answer the questions people are asking.
Yeah.
So in a sense, that's Demand Media too, isn't it?
Right. And the other thing they did is that they cut up the task of creating a piece of content into 11 discrete pieces and job that out in the marketplace. So they'll pay you $20 to write that toilet page or make that toilet video.
Right.
And somebody else will copy edit it, and somebody else will fact check it, and so on and so forth. The copy editor, I think, will make about $2.50 for doing that.
Wow.
And people are up in arms about that, and I understand that it's harsh, but welcome to capitalism.
If that's what people,
If there are people willing to do it.
Yeah.
But where I think Demand's going to get hit, and there's plenty who are somewhat like this. You have Associated Content at Suite 101, where the writer decides what to write still. You have About.com that has dedicated guides. You have the upcoming Seed at AOL, which is trying to figure out what it wants to be. And though I think I saw somebody tweeted this week that there was an assignment on Seed to name the prettiest news anchor in your market. That's improving the world, but fine. Yeah, exactly. So these are all different models, and Demand really, took it to a new level. But I think that what Matt said on the show last week is really, really, really important, because it's Google saying, it's recognizing that they've got to find signals of quality and creation.
That's the key. It's not about how cheap it is. It's not about how it's generated. It's about whether the content has quality, and you want to surface the best quality content.
And it is in Google's interest to do so.